Looks like that whiskey's finally hitting you. All right. Welcome back to Whiskey Buds. Hey, I can see myself this week. Hey, I'm Kurt,
I'm Billy.
and we are taking Billy on his 100 whiskey journey. Though, actually, this week, we have a bit of a surprise. Billy, who has not had a good track record, has decided to bring whiskey.
Well, I didn't actually pick this one.
Who did?
Riley, a friend of mine, picked this one.
Riley, huh? All right.
I got it in the mystery bag, so you couldn't.
Dude, yeah.
know
If
what
you
it
don't
is.
recognize this bag, you need to go back and check out a few other episodes.
I forgot what it is too, actually.
He didn't know what it was to begin with.
So we're both going to be surprised.
Yeah, like, what is it? What is it?
Ready? Ready?
Yeah. Brush Creek. Okay. And this is the straight rye whiskey. All right.
We had this?
No. Dana, guy I work with, he says, and actually Dana's probably might be watching. He said he didn't care for the rye too much, but he liked the bourbon. But he said a lot of people cared for the rye. Now, I sat at the table at the local auction, right, where 2 bottles of this were auctioned off, the rye and the bourbon. And they had nice custom rocks glasses with leather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I sat at the table that the guy who bought the whiskey was there. So this is not distilled in Saratoga, like it says.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. Saratoga, Wyoming.
So Saratoga, Wyoming, just local down the road about 40 miles.
Hey,
Yeah, you got to figure out how to open it while I'm telling him about it.
it's a child-proof bottle.
Now, how good is this that he shows up with a whiskey and I'm going to tell you about it when I didn't even know what it was he brought? All right, so I haven't actually purchased any Brush Creek whiskey yet because they're brand new, right? They've only opened up their distillery like within the last year or so. And when you have aged whiskey, that's like we just talked about 10 years ago, right? Or
Yeah.
last week. Some of us may have had a pre-show cocktail. So, anyways, we talked about last week that 10 years you gotta wait 10 years for a 10-year-old whiskey, and so these guys are only a year old and they have a couple of year old whiskey. So how did they do that? They bought their whiskey and their mash bill from someone else, and then blended it and did their stuff with it here locally.
Or time works a little different in Wyoming.
Not really. I mean, it doesn't pass very quickly, but yeah, I mean. But so this is actually a sourced whiskey until theirs is aged and old enough to be able to, bottle and serve. But I've always been curious. I just haven't bought it because I'm like, if I'm going to buy a local spirit, I want it to be made locally, not imported or, sourced from another place and brought to us that way. Yeah, so here it even says blended, packaged, and bottled by Brush Creek Distillery. So, not distilled. That's very important.
You sound like a hater right now.
If I'm buying a Wyoming whiskey, I want a Wyoming whiskey, and not the brand Wyoming whiskey, but one that made in Wyoming, like full on.
I just like as Wyoming on the label. That's
Yeah.
it.
Brush Creek,
I'm
and-
easily impressed.
I like the idea that Brush Creek is right down the road. Like we could be down there in 45. Okay, it takes us actually 55 minutes to get there, but
Well, with construction going on, and
you gotta pass Saratoga. You gotta go all the way through, and you gotta go back, and then it's on a dude ranch. And if you guys
Oh.
want to stay the night there, you can. You can look it up. It's rather expensive. It's an all-inclusive resort. They have some rooms that are like $6,000 a night,
I think I'll stick to this.
right? Like, but now you know what kind of place it is. And they decided to open up a distillery,
Well, I like the green, like it's
Yeah.
shiny.
and I liked it. I did. This is fun.
Yeah, because it's shiny.
It is. I do. I do like the bottle design. I like the name. But I just realized that I was looking at trying to bring some more rye whiskeys. I was, trying to figure out which ones to bring on the show to see how you like them, because you have shown a propensity of disliking rye whiskeys to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. And now you brought a rye whiskey. So this is going to be fun. So now you alleviated my trouble of having to figure out which I'm going to serve you to bringing one of your own. That's all right.
So you're saying I probably won't like the whiskey I brought.
There's
Is that what you're trying to say with all those words? It actually smells pretty good.
Yeah. It doesn't smell as sweet as a bourbon, like the last week's, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't get that caramel from it.
Nope. It's going to be spicy, isn't it?
Yes, that's rye, right?
Well, maybe I'm in a spicy mood.
Spicy.
Is that from The Mask?
Smoking. Smoking.
Okay. Glad you did it.
No, you got to do it now.
Smoking.
That's not that spicy.
No? I wonder what the mash bill is.
I kind of like it. I don't know why.
Because you brought it. No, I think I'm getting a little bit of that rye flavor to it, that rye spice. That it's almost like a light black pepper almost, but not quite. You get a little burn from the alcohol, but not much. Like last week's was worse, right? That
Something might be
sandpaper.
wrong with my tongue. It's just
It's flowing down smooth for you, huh? All right, let's see. Let's double check.
it has a little sweetness in it. To me.
It's 94 proof, so 47% alcohol. Yeah, straight rye whiskey. Now, rye whiskey means 51% or more rye in the mash bill. So they technically could have 51% rye and 49% barley.
I'm confused.
Are you?
Yeah, like what's that other stuff you gave me, like that?
Bullet bourbon or rendezvous rye, or especially the Midwinter Night's Dram.
I don't know. Even that, like, what was that? It was,
Oh, the campfire?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or one of them with the bubbly bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like way spicier than this. And
Huh. And that had the smoky whiskey in it and the bourbon.
well, that one wasn't bad. But there was another one I thought that we had
All right.
that was like,
Yeah, that'd be the rendezvous rye. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and I was just like, it was
And
way
that's
too much.
High West. That's the same bubbly bottle.
Yeah.
I've stayed within the same distillery every time I mentioned a whiskey.
Something's not adding up here.
All right, but you're enjoying this rye whiskey, huh?
It's not bad. I don't like the flavor is. There's not a whole lot of flavor to it. Like, not much at all, really.
It seems kind of simple. It goes down real smooth, and then I get a little warmth in my belly, like in my chest, right?
Your belly's
belly-
riding up on you.
Dude, depends on how full you are.
I got some lint in my belly button.
Oh man, but that spice comes in on the finish, on the aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're catching a lot of that spice. It goes down nice and easy. So I wonder if it's got a higher corn content for being a rye whiskey that kind of smooths that out a little bit. And it also depends on what kind of rye they're using.
I don't know. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just take more sips and more sips to try to get the real subtle flavors in it, because nothing's overpowering in it.
No, but I'm not catching any real subtle flavors to it.
I thought I did.
Well, you might be.
It's like I took a drink and there's like, oh, what's that in there? Gone.
All right.
Why am I taking another drink? Because it's
Yeah,
like,
because it's gone. All right, yeah. Remember that Sexton Irish whiskey in the one bottle, the I don't know, the interesting looking bottle. We had that, and you were talking about it, like getting a little sweetness right toward the end, and I was like, no, there's a bitterness, and you were getting the sweetness that kind of overrode the bitterness, and I just wasn't getting that sweetness. So I'm wondering if that's just not the same thing here, right? You're able to detect these little small subtle stuff, and I only get the bolder flavors. poured more in my glass.
Yeah.
I think you did that on purpose.
Well, that one time I poured like
Yeah, you poured like full on pours.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. Like, it surprises me because I thought, like, when I think of a rye, I'm like, oh, that's gonna
Be spicy and have that little like.
gonna burn my tongue and it's gonna be harsh, and
Yeah.
there is some of this in there, but it's not. It doesn't hit me like it just.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. I'm very confused why it's
Well,
not.
If you bring this back for a blind tasting, then we'll be curious to see how it lines up with some others.
And I feel like
If not, we'll have other ryes to try. Like we have a whole selection of ryes. I just haven't brought them out yet.
we might have to try some more just to figure out what's.
Yeah.
If others are. This is not what I thought a rye was going to be like.
I've got the next couple of weeks planned, right? But after that, we can start looking at. We got to do the Four Roses. That's going to plan one of these next weeks, and then we'll start planning a couple of ryes.
Well, this is definitely the best rye I've had.
Hey, there you go. The best rye Billy has ever had. Brush Creek Rye.
I think.
Come to Saratoga, Wyoming and visit. Join us in the next following few weeks and find out if he finds one he likes more.
Yeah,
Right?
good idea that's in this episode because I don't know what to say about this one.
I'm enjoying it.
It's somewhat enjoyable. Like
It's not bad at all. I'm not getting anything extra, so I was more curious about his reaction. So
I wouldn't mind putting some campfire in it or something.
we can do that. All right. Before we go off the rails, cheers, everybody. Join us next week. Look at this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna pour the tiniest drop in here because I got like one drink.
A drop
left.
in there, yeah.
I'm thinking.
All right. Well, whatever you do to yours, do to mine.
50% or less of the campfire.
And whatever your blending mix is.
I got like a couple more than me. So.
I do.
Nice.
All right.
Got the drop in there.
And welcome to this week's episode of Billy's Blending House. All right, what'd you think?
All right, let me try.
Oh, man.
I laughed a little bit while I was swallowing.
He breathed it in.
Dragon.
Jeez.
The dragon choke.
Oh, man.
I got a campfire going on in my throat.
Yeah. It burns
Whoa.
like...
It was good before that happened.
Yeah.
It's not really that different.
No, this is... Yeah, I'm getting some weird funky flavors in there. No, it's a weird So I noticed the rye spice in the campfire last time, right? Like you could sense it. You could get a little bit of flavor in there, and I enjoyed it in there. But this kind of amplifies that to the point, and then it's like they use different ryes or something, and I don't know, kind of adds a weird. I want to say bitter flavor, but it isn't exactly bitter. It's a little different.
We're doing way too much experimenting here with this.
Oh, dude, yeah, this is becoming the new episode right here.
I'm going to take a little sip of this on its own. Okay, this is better.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But this is not rye whiskey, so let's just say we can still
right.
continue that's your best
Right.
the best rye so far.
Right. I just wanted to add a little campfire to that because that campfire is pretty good.
It is, right? Like overall, it's just a good whiskey to have. All right.
Okay, but for a rye, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Let's end Billy's
before I come
blending
up with some
house.
more ideas.
Yeah. Join us next week when he does.